Welcome everybody to our informational Zoom. We're so grateful that you're taking the time to be here with us and really want to honor your time and make the most worthwhile of it. My name is Christina Amon, and you're going to hear some stories today about our 30-day ultimate lifestyle transformation and some of the details. And what I wanted to open up with here is really why these products, why this transformation, what sets it apart from other products that are out there, and why even do products at all. That's how I came into it. I have been partnered with Purium for 4.5 years and have been enjoying these products 99.9% of every day of that time. And I came into this not being a product or supplement person. So I also had to learn, like, what value does this have for me? So my background is as a gardener, farmer. I was growing a lot of my own food. I had my big discovery of the power of nutrition and cleansing and raw foods just about 20 years ago, and it changed my life. I felt like I shed layers and lifetimes of baggage that I had been carrying. Physically, I shed layers. I, became about 10 years younger in the period of a couple of months from raw foods and cleansing. So I knew at that point in my life that I would be sharing this gift with people for the rest of my life because it was so powerful. At that time, I thought, I'm going to open this cleansing healing center and support people. And through this path, once I discovered what was so special about Purium, I'm actually now able to help way more people, thousands and thousands of people, because of what this company has created. So again, being a gardener, I didn't think I needed products. I was growing my own food. I was eating organic. I was eating clean. I had been raw vegan. I had been vegetarian. And actually at the time that I found Purium, I had started to eat animal products again, because what had happened for me was depletion. I didn't know about depletion. While I had experienced incredible things cleansing, I had also pretty much depleted myself cleansing, and didn't know how to rebuild. And so the animal products kind of came across my path for that. When I found Purium, what I found within the first week was a feeling of being nourished that I had never experienced in my life on any of those different dietary programs. And what I've now come to realize happened for me is that, number one, this is about where these foods come from and the soils that they're grown in. They're highly mineralized soils. They're farmed with regenerative practices. So they're constantly giving back to the earth, to the soil, to build up the nutrient profile, the, just the life-giving potency. So it actually turns out that most of our foods in this modern world, the soils are depleted, even in organic agriculture. So we don't have the potency. So that's what I experienced even though I had resistance to products, I experienced something I had never felt before. Like, oh, this is what feeling nourished feels like. I felt fortified. I felt grounded. I felt strong in my body. I felt really present on this earth and here to do what I'm here to do. And yet I felt light. I felt like full of energy, like I could spring out of bed and do all kinds of physical things I'd never done before. And that was at age 40. So, and that was after having 2 children. So it's really common for moms in particular to be depleted, but really anyone who's eating, standard American diet or even organic American diet is experiencing depletion because of the soils. So the other thing that this company has tuned into is the ability to encapsulate maximum amount of enzymes in this dehydration process. So it's a low temperature wind dehydration that separates the water from the juice crystals and packages it right away. And that's in this non-GMO compostable packaging, which is incredible, and then ships it right to wherever you are, whether you're on your farm like I was, or you're in a food desert in some city, or out in some rural place where it's hard to get access anyway. So that is amazing, that you can add water then to these juice crystals and create something that's so alive and living, even more so than like the organic food that's at your grocery store in the fridge section. And certainly more than any other dried products out there. So that's amazing. And what happens, and you're going to hear more about the products and these stories, what happens when we experience this lifestyle transformation. We start with 30 days, and most of us continue to experience even some of our most profound parts of our healing journey continue after that 30 days by staying on some of the core products. What happens is that we are feeding ourselves, we are shedding any kind of residue or toxins that we've accumulated over, a lifetime or more. We are even addressing emotional and trauma responses that can be stored in the tissues and the cells of our body, and really releasing. So what I've come to realize is that this has been so in alignment with my own spiritual path to become as illuminated, as light, as clear, as empowered, as sovereign as I possibly can be. It's had to go hand in hand with being as clean and clear and as strong and built up and nourished as possible. And that's one of the things that these superfoods have really given. So I just wanted to speak a little bit to why Purium, how does it stand apart from other experiences, other foods, other products. And I'm going to pass it over to Erica, who's going to actually break down the exact products that you're going to be getting in your 30-day ultimate lifestyle transformation and help us understand. And if you've experienced these products and you want to drop some comments in the chat to kind of echo anything that you're hearing here or reflect on it or add to it, we definitely welcome that. So Erica is another farmer here in Hawaii who has a very similar story. We would have never thought we'd benefit so much, and here we are. So thanks for being here, Mama.
Oh, thanks so much for opening up this beautiful call, Christina. It's my honor and pleasure to be here sharing about what we have, because truly it's just been so life transformational for me and many, many others. So I'm going to share a little bit more about the products that come with your ultimate lifestyle transformation package. And I'm just going to begin by sharing as well a little bit about my story and how this has really changed my entire quality of life. So when I discovered Purium, I was in a very deep state of depletion, and the circumstances of my life included that I was newly a single mom. I had given birth to 5 children, and I had also been pregnant and or nursing for, sorry, my wind blew in the room here, almost lost that. But for 13 years, I have been consistently breastfeeding or pregnant or both without a pause. And so my body was in such a state of demineralization and depletion. There's almost no words for it. I was deep in brain fog. It was hard to even think clearly about the day-to-day, let alone the future, let alone recovering from things that I had been going through in the past. At that time, I had also newly become a single mother, and I was just so exhausted. My adrenal glands were chronic fatigued, and I was searching for a solution in a really powerful way. And I didn't know how it was going to show up in my life. At the time, I was also have been living in Hawaii for a decade and a half, and I've been growing my own food. I've been making my own products, living a life totally organic, really close to the earth for decades. And yet I was still needing something so much greater. And so when I discovered this nutrition, like the first smell of it, the first taste of it, I knew that this was totally alive. And as a result of our products, especially our shake being low temperature, wind dehydrated, these are truly living foods. So that convenience as a busy mom or anyone with a busy lifestyle was such a blessing to be able to just in 30 seconds mix up shakes with water and have totally convenient, quick, easily available, nutrient dense food. And I just felt like every cell of my body started to come back to life, started to feel rehydrated and full again after coming out of well over a decade just being in like a staggering nutritional drought. And within weeks and months, I was a completely different being. I just started to come to life. I started to think more clearly. I started to have hope for my future. And if you had told me in the beginning that this line of nutrition or superfoods would have done all of this for me, it really would have been hard to believe. And I had to experience that for myself. But truly, what we have here to offer is quite unique and quite special. So I'm just going to begin to share with you a little bit more. When you order your 30-day package, you're going to get a box like this in the mail, which says Purium, the transformation company, because truly transformation is the word for what you'll experience here and what this company is totally about. And inside your transformation package, you have a beautiful array of superfoods. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our core 4 foundational products. Number 1, you're going to have your shake, which is an incredible appleberry power shake. And this is a totally concentration of live green nutrition. There's a beautiful blend of whole foods in there, green grass juices, blue-green algae, and so much more. And this is the kind of shake that really does help restore cellular regeneration. It also helps alkalize the body. And it's something that your body really develops a craving for after a while, because it satisfies on such a deep level what our bodies are nutritionally needing. It's also very sweet and delicious. So as you move through your transformation, you'll have an opportunity to experience this throughout the day and even multiple times a day. So that's one of the first ones I want to tell you about. The next one is our protein supplement called the Super Aminos 23. And this is an incredible product in a tablet. It is a totally plant-based, pure, crystalline form of protein. And it's unique because it actually has a 99% NNU, which stands for net nitrogen utilization, which essentially means that your body can, within 23 minutes of having those protein tablets, absorb 99% of the nutritional value. It is pre-digested, so it totally bypasses our digestive system and is absorbed directly into the lymphatic system. So it goes into your body and immediately nourishes your muscles, helps to start building lean muscle mass. It lights up the nervous system, which requires amino acids to live on and to grow. And it also starts to retrain your body to burn stored fat for energy. So this is a beautiful complement to being on a cleansing program, because it's not going to ever allow you to feel really tired and exhausted and depleted and sluggish. You can do this transformation and totally reset your health without having to take a pause from your whole life. It can support you if you have a very active lifestyle, if you're a pregnant or nursing mother, if you're an athlete. There's something here that's really going to give you strength and yet lightness and this total energized experience to continue with your days and even step into new levels of activity and mental clarity, and even some spiritual awakenings are something that is often experienced. So I'll tell you about one of our other incredible products. the Biomedic. And this is something that has just been so life-changing for so many people. I also want to point out that the Biomedic here is coming in a biodegradable package, also much like these Terra pouches. So this is an incredible mission of the company to fully be going plastic-free with all of their packaging by the end of this year. And that's just such an incredible testament to their integral value of environmental stewardship and really caring about the future of the planet and all life and all the ecosystems. So the Biomedic is actually restoring the health of our microbiome. Really what we're seeing today on a widespread level is that our microbiome are being compromised in our intestinal tract as a result of exposure to glyphosate. So if you are not familiar with glyphosate, I totally encourage you to go online and do a search and check it out. There is so much information out there. It's pretty mind-blowing actually what's happening with this. So in a nutshell, glyphosate is the active chemical ingredient found in Roundup herbicide, and it's been used so pervasively planet-wide that it's been proven and detected to be in 75% of our modern day food supply, in our air, in our water, in our soils, and thus it's accumulating in our intestinal tract. So glyphosate damage is actually responsible and directly related for large spikes that we're seeing in gluten intolerance, in things like leaky gut syndrome, in autoimmune conditions, in many, many different things happening within the core of our being. And especially because our microbiome are also responsible for nutrient absorption. It's the home of our immune system. It's our second brain. It's where we are processing regulation and production of many of our hormones. So when you see chronic and widespread conditions of anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue syndrome, insomnia, many things that are related to mental, emotional well-being, as well as suppressed immune systems, autoimmune conditions. So much of this is happening as a result of the compromised microbiome health. And so Biomedic is super amazing. It's exclusively available by Purium and has been clinically proven to detoxify 75% of the glyphosate in our gut within 6 weeks of taking the product. So that's just incredible what shifts and what you'll notice when you start to gently and safely remove these toxins from your body. It's like all the lights just got turned on, and you'll start to find thriving health and health imbalances naturally correcting and coming back into homeostasis in a really big way as a result of getting this in your body. So one of the other and the last component of our core 4 that I want to show you is called your apothecary juice. So this is a tart cherry concentrate. It is 100% organic cherry juice, nothing else. Comes in a glass bottle, and you can mix this in some water or a cup of tea daily. I love it. It's my nightly ritual with my family. We have our tea time with apothecary before bed. It's a magical elixir so many people fall in love with, and something to really look forward to throughout your transformation. So the tart cherries are naturally rich in melatonin, which helps promote a really deep REM sleep. They also are very high in antioxidants, so they help to repair damage from free radicals and oxidative stress on the body. Also really rich in vitamin C and help support collagen production. So the result is that you will have like deep skin cellular regeneration, and it's just amazing how you can step into glowing and eliminate things like dry skin, rashes, dehydration, things like that. So we love our cherry juice. It really does some amazing deep healing. And also, there's one other product that will come within your ultimate lifestyle transformation, and I'll tell you about it. It's called the Super Cleanser product. This is another in our biodegradable packaging. And this is a product that really is concentrated with a potent herbal formula that helps to eliminate parasites and other pathogens, especially in our intestinal tract, things like candida yeast and bacterial overgrowth that we don't want to have harbored there. So this is really designed to support you during the middle portion of your transformation where you're doing a deeper dive. And as you add in the super cleanser, you can really have that deeper next level support to safely eliminate parasites and pathogens and help to restore gut health. So that's a really incredible offering in our package here. Many people are dealing with the effects of parasites and aren't even aware of it. And then it's one of those experiences, like after you've done this deeper cleaning, it's like you hopped out of the fishbowl and you went in the ocean. You're like, wow, this is what it's like to swim in the ocean. And I never even knew that I was in the fishbowl before. So that's a really incredible experience to just start to detoxify and then be able to absorb nutrition in a new way. And in this particular package, we get to deeply nourish all throughout the day and flood our body with more nutrition than we've ever even really had. And the results of that are just profound, how much more you might start to feel totally inspired in life and motivated to begin new practices, deep clean your home, deep clean your mind and your heart. And it's just really an incredible experience. And I also want to share, last of all, when you get your package, you're going to get like a whole schedule, welcome to your transformation. And there's lots of options. So there's really a way to customize this program to work for you. There's several different options to kind of keep it simple or do a deeper dive, also really compatible for an intermittent fasting schedule. So whoever invited you here can also do a health consult with you if you get back with them and help you figure out what's going to be the best fit for your needs, and just look at these different ways that we can set you up to get started. So I think I covered everything about the transformation, and I have one other product I'll show you briefly. This is a brand newly launched product by Purium, and it's called Zincade, another one in our compostable packaging. And this is an optional add-on that can come in your Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation package. You may have chosen this, or you can always add that into a future order. And it's exclusively designed to support immunity on a holistic level. So it's a whole food formula, and it really helps to build up the strength of our immune system naturally, which is very important, especially in the times we're living in, to be able to decrease susceptibility to virus and disease, and to also help recover quicker from any illnesses that we find ourselves dealing with. So it's an incredible add-on if one of your health goals is to overall boost your immune system and be feeling robust health. So thank you, Christina, for inviting me to share today. I hope that was a good overview, and I look forward to sharing this experience with you all. I've been thriving on these products for 4.5 years, and I honestly cannot imagine a day without them. So I'm truly grateful to this life-changing nutrition.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Erica. And we want to hear some more stories. Sky, can you come and tell us your experience of the 30-day?
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'd absolutely love to. And I just want to say, like, listening to the both of you always lights me up so much. And I just get like so fired up and excited to talk about how just this has changed my life in so many amazing ways. Let's just begin. Like 3 years ago is when I first started taking these products, and I was totally resistant. Like Christina and Erica had mentioned, I was healthy, I was eating organic, I was, doing the best I could. And I didn't think I needed anything else. I was like, I'm also young. I'm only 26 years old. So I've never had kids, and I don't have kids yet. And, it's like, I'm young, I'm healthy. I'm a personal trainer, fitness instructor. I'm constantly active. And it's just like, didn't occur to me that I needed some extra nutrition. So when I finally, what the turning point was for me is I was really dealing with like major gut issues. And everything I did, like eliminating the foods that didn't make me feel good, like, you know, of course that helped a little bit, but it's like I was still experiencing these problems, and I didn't realize that it was like deep. It was like deeper than just taking foods out that weren't right for me. It was healing my gut, which I had basically poisoned for so long from eating processed food as a teenager, from eating the foods that my body wasn't able to fully digest. And so I didn't realize it, but like my gut was just wrecked. And it needed healing, it needed deep nourishment. And so that was really the turning point for me, where I was like, okay, I'm just ready to try anything. And so thankfully, Erica came into my life and offered this amazing nutrition. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to take this leap of faith and see what happens. And so I always say this, like within the first 3 days, I mean, 3 days, that's all it took of putting this nutrition into my body. I just felt immediate benefits. I mean, I was like, wow, this is what I've been missing out on. Like, this is amazing, you know? I had so much more energy. I was getting better sleep. I didn't even realize that I was like not sleeping that great, you know? And then once you start taking the apothecary, you literally like go to sleep, and then the next thing you wake up and you're like, what happened? What just happened? It's like your sleep is so deep that you don't even realize what happened. So that was really amazing. Some other things that happened for me, I was struggling with acne and skin problems here in Hawaii. It's really, really tropical and humid. And I also had what I didn't realize was candida in my body. And it was causing these like white spots all over my shoulders and my back and my chest and my stomach. And, you know, it was actually really, I was really self-conscious of it. And I didn't even want to like go outside in public. I was like always trying to cover my shoulders and stuff. And then with the products, I think especially probably, I think Erica mentioned the super cleanser helps to reduce candida. And I also did a candida reduction pack that Purium offers. And that just totally cleared it up. And I haven't had any spots on my skin since then. And I don't think I ever will, because my body is like constantly being flooded with all of this nourishment that I now take on the daily. Like they have said before, I just can't live without it. So, I mean, just so many things. Like being a personal trainer and a fitness instructor, I'm constantly exercising and teaching classes and on the go. And it takes a lot of energy. So, you know, I was constantly feeling drained, especially after teaching a fitness class and then like having to go and train another client right after. And with this nutrition, with this amazing, pure, clean superfoods in my body, I was able to access energy that I didn't even know I had. And like I said, I'm 26 years old. Like I should have endless amounts of energy, but I don't. Like we're all human. And, you know, with the outputs of life coming in, you know, all of these toxins and all of this like just go lifestyle that we put ourselves through, it's like we need support. It's like we need support. And so with this nutrition, I was able to have that support and find that extra energy. And I'm just so grateful for this amazing transformation in my life. And I just can't wait to see where it takes me. And I just couldn't imagine my life without it. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you, Erica. I will pass it on to the next.
Thank you so much, Sky. Amazing. That is so powerful. There's so many people who have those white spots here. And incredible to hear of a solution that doesn't involve pouring chemicals on your skin.
Yeah.
Yay.
And no more gut issues. Yay. Oh my gosh.
Also so common. I can relate to that too. I want to bring on another speaker, Alohi, who has another incredible testimonial. Thanks for being here, Mama.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to share. So thank you, Christina, and thank you, Erica, and thank you, Sky, for your amazing testimony too. So for those of you who don't know me, I am a mother of 5. I had my first child when I was 20, so I'm 33 now. So it's a lot of kids in a short amount of time. What I didn't realize while I was having kids was that I was, like all of us here, were severely depleted. And I'm a health nut, you know, I have been for a long time. But I didn't realize how soil depletion was so close to home, and how even though I was eating organically, I wasn't getting the nutrients that I needed, and I was suffering greatly. My teeth, my nails, my hair, and I just thought it was, you know, I didn't really understand what it was because I was eating healthy and I had done a few cleanses, but they always left me weak and just starving. And so I would do a cleanse, come out of that, and just couldn't wait to eat. And I would just wreck my body by doing that. And like Sky, my gut was also wrecked from eating junk food as a kid, you know, not really knowing what that was all about. And it wasn't until I ran into Erica, she was at a fundraiser for our, she was at a fundraiser that was helping to protect our mountain during the 2019 standoff. And she was there, you know, making shakes for the community and just handing them off. And she gave me a few shakes and I was blown away on how much my body just was brought to life. And I didn't realize that I was so depleted. And at that time, I like wasn't ready to jump on the train because, you know, I was still dealing with things, and I was like, I mean, like I eat fairly healthy. This is really amazing, but I think I'm all right. You know, I think I can. I think I'll live without it. And you know, so I didn't really. I had the shakes there, and then that was it. You know, I didn't think much of it until years later, until like the universe just dropped a power shake on my lap for my birthday one day. And it was like a great reminder to me. I was gifted it for my birthday, and I started making it for me and my kids, and they fell in love. And they were, you know, they were full, they were stoked, they were just asking for it all the time. And I realized it wasn't just me who was depleted, it was them too. And that made me so sad that I wasn't even really aware of how depleted we all were. And so I got in touch with Erica, and I made sure that I made my health a priority this year. And ever since, I've been feeling so much better and so much more in my body and so much more stronger too. I mean, for years, I would drink coffee for breakfast. It was terrible, but I was lacking the energy to keep up with 5 kids. And ever since I've started on these products, like I'm like so stoked to wake up in the morning and so stoked to like make a shake for everybody, you know, and then I don't feel bad for feeding them cereal because, you know, cereal's not that nutritious, you know, so we can like get away with a shake in the morning and like they love cereal. So we're good, you know, everybody's happy. So yeah, that's like my story. And I'm just so stoked to share it with people who could benefit from it, because it's something that isn't talked about a lot. And especially with us being here in Hawaii and the rich history of the sugarcane companies scraping the topsoil, you know, like it's really important that people understand there's the soil in a lot of places here in Hawaii is devoid of nutrients, and it's really important for us to take care of our bodies and find that deep nutrition that we all need in order to, you know, be present and be pumped for life and be clear-minded. So thank you for having me here.
Amazing. That is such a powerful testimonial. And not only are the topsoils so devoid of nutrients, like you said, which is common everywhere, but also the fact that on this island, 80 to 85% of the food is imported. And, so what soils are those coming from? So coming back to that soil conversation, it's so powerful what we have here. And, and then there's a whole conversation about how Purium's helping people rebuild soil everywhere. And we'll save that for another call, but that's amazing. We have one more testimonial and then I'm going to close us out. Laura, can you come on here and share? You have a really amazing story about what these products have done for you.
Yes. Hello. Can everyone hear me okay?
So far, so good.
Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. Cool. Yes, thank you everyone so much for sharing so far. I can relate to so much of what you've already spoken of and promoted for Purium. Similar start to the stories that I thought that I was perfectly healthy. I was doing all the things that I needed to do. And then in 2019, I ended up in the ER, which is like the farthest that I ever thought I would ever be to Western medicine ever again. So I kind of steered away from Western medicine for a really long time. And then I ended up in the ER because I was in excruciating pain. And long story short, I went through like a really long night in the ER and didn't get out till like the AM morning time. And went through a bunch of tests and then found out that I had endometriosis, which is a very silent disorder that many women experience, and it's not really showable. And so, one thing about cleanses too that a lot of people think about is that they think about just losing weight, right? When they hear cleanse, it's like, oh, I need to see somebody who's lost weight, which can happen too, which is so beautiful. But for me, my transformation has been internal. So yeah, I got diagnosed with endometriosis, which has a bunch of other side effects to it as well. But basically what was happening was that the lining of my uterus was shedding at such a rapid rate that the lining of my uterus was going to other places in my body as well. So like sticking on your abdomen, going into your lungs. And many women, what the doctors say is to get your reproductive organs kind of removed, to get a hysterectomy, and that solve endometriosis pain. But when I was told that, I'll be 32 next week. And when I was told that that was one of the options for endometriosis, it was just my last resort ever to happen. And it honestly didn't even have to do with the fact that if I had a hysterectomy, I wouldn't be able to have children, because I wasn't planning on having children then, and I didn't know if I ever would. But for me, it was more about that feminine, divine feminine, spiritual, like emotional connection that I have to my reproductive organs. So I knew that I was going to have to find a holistic route to this, and I knew that I could. But I was getting really overwhelmed with looking for herbal remedies on my own. And like, I literally had my Ayurvedic training manual in front of me with all of these herbs that I could take to help my endometriosis, but something wasn't quite right. I kept thinking, all of these women get hysterectomies, but then they say that they still have endometriosis pain, even after the hysterectomy. So that made me think, it must be something deeper than that. There must be some other reason why this is happening. And so when I got on the Purium products, it was just a blessing in disguise. I didn't actually think that I was going to receive such amazing transformations, internal transformations. And what I really think it was the Biomedic. And I've been doing some research on it as well, because all of our hormones live in our gut, and endometriosis is produced by an imbalance of hormones. And so it just started to make sense that the more that I took the Biomedic, the more that my endometriosis would start to let up. And what I mean by that is I was in agonizing pain. So not only did it cause just, it's so hard to describe, and this is why it's such like a silent disorder that women go through. It's so hard to describe what it feels like. But I also had severe anemia because I would lose so much blood during it. Like, I don't want to get too deep into details, but it was a lot. So when I started taking the Purion products, it was a beautiful moment when I didn't even feel my period coming on because of the pain. I just knew that my period was there because of the like sensitive emotions that come with our periods that are like a beautiful part of being a woman. And I remember when it actually came, I was like, whoa. And then the most like amazing experience was when it left, because it left in like 3 days, which my periods on endometriosis were like probably like the whole month. It just lasted the whole month, like 7 to like 14 days, even longer than that. So to have it leave in like 3 days was like, okay, is this really happening? And I've been consistent with it since I started, and it just keeps getting better. And so I just want to end with something that Christina said on another call that I was on about how these toxins that are being sprayed in our soil are literally sucking the fertility out of the soil. And how I feel now on Purion products is I feel fertile, I feel abundant, I feel full of life. I feel like I can experience the pleasure of being a woman and not the pain, which is how it should be, right? I could go deep into like ancestral wounds with that as well, but truly just, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing, Laura. That's really powerful. And we do talk about ancestral healing here, and we actually even have a container for BIPOC who feel like they want to do this deeper healing with the cellular transformation and ancestral healing in a safer container. So if anybody's interested in that, let us know. Thank you. That was such a common misconception about what it means to be a woman, and to reclaim that joy is so beautiful. And I wish that upon every girl and woman out there. What this program, as you've been hearing today, really gives people is the opportunity to reclaim sovereignty over our bodies and the life that we want to lead, as well as develop a connection to where we can really hear and listen and respond to our body's cues. So whether weight loss is your goal or weight gain, muscle building, clearing skin stuff, energy stuff, hormonal stuff, gut stuff, you're going to be able to address any goal you have, because this program is really about restoring the balance on all the levels. And so that's why these stories are so powerful. I mean, I'm like holding back, going into tears just so I can hold this container and wrap us up here. But that is my favorite thing of all, is that we no longer, if you have ever dieted or tried to stick to some sort of program by using your willpower and discipline to make yourself do it, all of that dissolves and goes away because of the relationship you're developing with your body and with these foods and with all foods and all nourishment and everything you're intaking, is that you can develop a relationship to where what your body is craving is what it actually needs to thrive. And that to me is the greatest liberation of all, is to let go. For me personally, I had a lot of discipline and austerity programming. I just let all that go. And now, I really crave wholesome food. So that all being said, the one more thing I wanted to add about why these products stand out is the commitment to purity. There is no other company out there that has standards as high as Purion. It's in the name, pure and premium. So they have a 5-tiered system of testing every product that comes into their facility with an in-house microbiologist to make sure that there's 0 chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, glyphosate, contaminants, mold, you know, anything, if they detected anything like that, they're going to go ahead and discard that whole batch and send it back to the supply chain. No other company does that. Every other company cuts corners and increases profit margins by allowing for a certain level of contaminants in their products. And excuse me, cat need. And that is being, you can go and Google it, and you can see searches that third parties are doing on all these, you know, organic protein powders and green powders out there, which is really disappointing because the organic label itself is pretty much no longer means a whole lot. So these products are way beyond organic, and I could go on and on, but what I wanted to talk about, the very last thing is, okay, well, how do I get started? If you're hearing all this for the first time, you know, let us know. If you're, or anybody, let us know. If you drop a 5 in the comments, if you're like, I'm excited to experience this and feel these results. How do we get started? The Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation is a 30-day supply. It comes with about 60 superfood meals. And again, it's customizable how you weave that into your life with tons and tons of support. So it comes out to about $11 a day. That's $329 for your pack. And what you can also get for free is the ability to share a discount code with your friends and family. So you can actually get the cost of your products paid for with this incredible business model that many of the people here are using to create secondary streams of income and even primary streams of income to support our families, build up dreams. It can even become unlimited and residual in the 6- and 7-figure brackets. And if you're interested in learning about that, definitely get with a person who shared this link or this video with you. And, you know, it's changed a lot of our lives to be able to make clean wealth by partnering with this company and be part of a mission that's so beautiful. And like I said earlier in the call, I always knew that I would be supporting people to discover cleansing and nourishment with clean food and herbs. I just never knew it would come so easily that I could just share my story and in that way share with thousands of people and develop such a powerful income that's actually helping us build our farm out here in Hawaii to grow even more incredible food and hold space for amazing events. So that's pretty much what we have to share with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this replay or be here today. And if you have any questions, I'm going to close out the recording and we can stay on for anybody here who has questions, or reach out to the person who shared this with you. And they have a discount code for you so that you can get $100 off the retail price, which brings it down to that $329. All right, thank you, aloha. And